What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the What the Fanboy Show. 3 episodes remaining, boys.
Home stretch.
Home stretch. We're gonna make them count. We're gonna review some killer box office movies.
Heck yeah,
this
baby.
week.
It was a strong weekend for movies. Well, if you're Moana.
If you're Moana, you're doing fine. Yeah, and we gotta talk about Game Awards, of course, and all that. So, Luke, outside of Game Awards, because we'll talk about Game Award trailers here in a second. Any new movie, TV show trailers that we need to be aware of?
There are. Did either of you see the 28 Years Later?
Yes. With the Cillian Murphy, not actually Cillian Murphy zombie.
Yeah. That is such a weird ordeal. You think they paid that dude to just be like, hey, claim this is you?
Yeah, right.
Honestly, they probably did. I honestly don't really have an opinion on this. I haven't seen the first two, and I won't see this one. It's a zombie movie. I don't care.
I haven't watched them in so long.
Yeah.
That's my thing. Like, and I didn't realize how much I just don't remember those movies until I watched this trailer, and I was like, I don't remember any of what's happening here. Like,
Yeah.
And maybe that's the point, but I don't know. It looks fine.
Yeah, I think it looks fine. I think it'd be interesting, you know, in a day and age where it's all about revitalizing old IP.
Hey, they got the 28 Days Later on streaming starting this week now because of it.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
or on digital because it never got a digital release but they're
I didn't
releasing
realize
it.
that.
Yeah, they're releasing it. They're releasing it on Thursday.
nice.
Yeah.
What are they
Okay.
called? Days, weeks, and then now years?
It's 28 days, 28 weeks, 28 years.
So the next one will be 28 decades or 28 centuries?
I would
Hopefully
bet
centuries.
decades. Centuries would be wild.
Yeah, just jump straight into like the deep sci-fi stuff, baby. Let's
It'll
go.
just be called
It's just
Days
Jason
Later,
X or whatever.
2888 or something.
Let's do it.
Yep.
Man, I would assume everybody would have to be dead at that point, right?
Killian Murphy's not. Somehow he's back.
He's always been.
And somehow
Just on a
Killian
boat.
has returned.
He gets the Palpatine treatment for sure.
Switch to a bit more of an Oscar bait one here. The Brutalist. You see the trailer for this?
Is this the
Yeah.
one with old buddy in it?
Adrian.
Yeah, Adrian Brody.
Brody.
Yeah.
I didn't watch this one. This is the second trailer, right?
I think they had a teaser like a month or so
I watched
ago.
the teaser.
Yeah.
I didn't watch this one.
Yeah. I think this looks really good.
Yeah,
And just based on what I'm hearing about it.
it's got really positive buzz coming out from critics or I don't know if it's been at a festival already or
Assume.
probably.
Where
It's
else
that
they
time
would
of
see
year. Like,
Yeah.
basically everything that's coming out has been shown at a festival somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're making this movie about architecture. Looks so interesting. And like they keep describing it as like monumental and epic, and it's like,
What are we doing?
what's this
Ow.
about? Like,
Really? Yeah. No, I'm here for this. It looks artsy and moody and emotional and all of the buzzwords that get me going. So
If you're gonna do moody, I feel like Adrian Brody's a good choice.
yeah.
that's why
Just
he's in the Predators movie.
Based on like look alone.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll bring up that movie every time Adrian Brody comes up. I love that freaking movie.
It's good.
Second best Predator movie. I stand by that.
I'm not gonna argue with you.
We were getting a new Looney Tunes movie, The Day the Earth Blew Up.
Oh,
I saw
heard-
this, but I didn't
heard
see
about
this.
it, but
I didn't see
the
a trailer was
yeah.
out.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Is it black and white?
No,
Oh, okay.
it's color. It's Daffy and Porky Pig,
Okay.
and Daffy has to save the world from something. The first like 20 seconds, I was like, oh no, because like a bunch of like butt jokes, which didn't really feel super Looney Tunes to me. But as they started blowing each other up and
It felt a little
getting
more.
into more shenanigans and
Yeah.
Acme products were flying out the doors, I was like, okay, this feels more what I'm used to. I think it could be fun. Personally, I think I would still trade it for the Coyote vs. Acme movie.
Yeah.
Because of what I've heard about that.
Right?
Um,
Why can't we have both?
hey, maybe this will make a great box office though.
And then
And they'll be like, oh, maybe the Looney Tunes are popular enough that we can at least make $150 million.
Yeah.
yeah, I imagine
And then it has the controversy.
the hype of it
It
getting
has all the
shelved or
drama
whatever.
behind
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
which will probably get even more people just to go see it.
Let's say that'll generate some revenue push.
It will generate discussion and online discourse. People every outlet will run a news article. It'll get some links. It'll get some people who weren't interested before interested in it, and you'll get equals more revenue, more money, more problems.
And if there's anything that studio execs like,
It's money.
it's money.
True.
Warfare. This one just
Yeah.
came out today. One of you guys sent it.
I saw it this morning when I woke up.
Yes.
I feel like I perfectly described what this movie is. It is the B-side to Civil War, and I'm here for it. I think this
Yeah.
looks really interesting.
Yeah, written and directed by a veteran.
Yeah. And
who
Garland.
experienced this. So, I think it takes place in real time.
06, yeah.
Is the vibe that I was not current time,
Right.
real time as in
Like 1917.
Yeah, like not a one take, but they're doing they're not.
The movie takes
This
place
is
over
like
2 hours.
2 hours.
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
it
yeah.
shows the extraction or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, cinematography looks great. Acting looks good. I'll probably end up crying a bunch.
Yeah, I thought too, because Garland is co-directing it, right?
I think he's just an executive producer.
I'm pretty sure he's listed as a co-director.
Oh.
Because they're the dude directing is just a former
Army guy.
Navy SEAL, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm trying to confirm.
The way it looked to me was that he was hoping directing it too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I may have just missed that.
Because I saw his name and I was like, I thought you retired, buddy. And he's also part of 28 Days Later, isn't he? Or 28
Years later.
Didn't he write it?
I'm not sure.
He said he was retiring from directing, not writing.
He's like,
Yeah, it's
I'm too old for this.
A24's post, directed by Iraq War veteran Ray Mendoza and Civil War director Alex Garland.
Okay. Yeah, so co-directing there. All right.
So he did Civil War, which felt like this, what the press deals with and what it looks like to happen on your own turf, and then
Written by Alex Garland.
Okay.
and then this one will be here's the warfare portion. Dude, I'm excited for this.
Just write Dread 2. Come on. Just do it. Oh, that'd be so amazing.
I can almost guarantee he's got a draft of something on a
For
computer
Dread? Oh,
somewhere.
for sure.
But it's just sitting there waiting for
Somebody
the
to be
studio exec to be like,
that, or for it to hit the zeitgeist again for a bit.
Yeah.
And then he'll be like, I'm going to turn this into a studio.
we
'cause
need,
this may be
we
the
need
time.
somebody to make a Judge Dredd video game. If
Yeah.
you do well,
Yeah.
and they'll be like, Dread 2.
Yeah. Or just a super successful comic run or just something. Some other media to blow up for a second.
Or
Yeah,
maybe they're
something
still
to just get
sitting
a
on that
little
Mega
traction.
City 1 show. They were trying to do that.
That wasn't that Amazon?
I have no idea.
No, Amazon's doing the RoboCop one. I don't know.
I just thought it sounded so cool. And I think Carl Urban was like, yeah, I'll freaking do that.
I think Carl Urban would sign up for anything Dread related.
Oh,
if,
100.
if somebody
In
walked up to him
instant.
tomorrow and was like, "Hey man, Dread," he's like, "Cancel everything I'm doing. I'm doing that."
Yeah.
You'd be like,
in
I'm
an
never taking off the
instant.
helmet.
Yeah.
He's like, well, what about when you sleep? No.
No,
I'm wearing the
yeah.
helmet. Going method.
I have become the helmet. I've
I
become one
am
with.
the helmet.
Time for Dread rewatch. Oh, yeah, baby.
Let me know, please.
The last trailer I have is a teaser for a trailer.
Classic.
We're all very excited for it. James Gunn's Superman got a baby little teaser today. New trailer
Drops Thursday, right?
drops Thursday.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
The motion poster was sick,
It was super cool.
but the music for me was the highlight.
Yeah.
I was freaking out. I listened to it 20 times. I actually called Dana when I heard it. I called Dana. I was like, Dana, what are you doing? She's like, oh, I'm finishing getting ready. I'm like, stop what you're doing. I just sent you this poster. You need to listen to the music right now. And she listens to it and she goes, wow, that's and I was like, I couldn't even let her finish the thought. I was like, yeah, like I was so excited,
I'm curious
man.
if that's actually the movie score.
That's what I want to know. If it's the real theme or not.
Because there's a lot of Williams and Zimmer influence in it.
Yep.
And I guess we'll see. If it is, cool. I really liked it.
Who is scoring that? He's talked about him before.
I think it's the guy who did Guardians 3. Brian Tyler. I think there's a Tyler in his name.
Good. That's a good name.
Mm-hmm.
But, man, a lot riding on this, though. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
It comes out in the trailer, it's like,
Ooh.
you know, I'll be sad, but...
I'll try to figure it out eventually.
But, I mean, at the same time, you just gotta wait for the movie, but...
Yeah.
There's going to be a bazillion people who hate it just because,
What's the needle drop going to be in the trailer? That's what I want to know. What's the most un-Superman song, but also the most Superman song? The tagline is "Look Up." Is there going to be a song called "Look Up"?
I love that tagline though too. It's like, I don't know, just hearkening to just the aesthetic and everything. It has me feeling not the video game Concorde, but just like, you remember the Concorde? Do you guys know?
The trailer?
You're young. No, the airplane.
Oh, like the transcontinental flight
Yeah,
plane?
it just got like look up at this this amazing thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm too young for that.
Oh my gosh.
I mean,
You
I've
guys are
seen a helicopter in the
babies.
sky, and I always look at that. I've seen 1,000 of them.
I saw,
You hear the flutter, and you're just like,
dude, I saw the thing. You've always seen the thing of the game day guys, and it's like the flyover happens.
"That's a stealth bomb!"
Yeah, that's a stealth bomb. Like, it's that kind of thing. I think
Things that fly are just always cool.
yes, 100%
Except
agree.
bugs.
I saw a thing. It had like the 4 posters for the 4 Superman, Superman. So it had Cavill's, Reeves, Routh, and now Corin Sweats.
Yeah.
And like the stark color difference between the 3 and 1 is crazy
yeah.
on the posters.
So was it like the Prism poster?
Yeah.
For Reeve?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
This poster, I mean, like
love that poster.
color wise, it's very similar to the Reeve poster. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's, I mean, even almost pose. Man, I'm very excited for this. I can't wait. Just the trailer, like I'm not nervous, but I'm like, I hope the people I want to like this. Like,
So you.
yes, but also like
That's the
Dana.
only person I care about.
Yeah.
Me. I want to like this.
Yeah, I'm just excited.
Yep. Yeah, very cool. Very neat. Okay, well, we'll get hyped. We'll be talking more about the Superman trailer next week.
No, we won't.
No, 2 weeks from
In
now.
2 weeks. Excuse me. Next episode.
Luke-
You're the one who's gone.
I know, I'm sorry.
Luke and I will be talking about it.
Yeah, we will.
My bad, guys.
I'm gonna call in sick to work and watch it 100 times.
On Thursday?
Yes,
You hear that, Tyler's work?
I am off next Friday
Get
and
'em.
Monday. That'd be cool.
Get him. All right, so the other thing, our first main topic, something that happened at the end of last week, the Game Awards, which we kind of briefly mentioned last week as like hey, we're excited for see where things land, and Tyler is allergic to Dr. Pepper.
No, I'm not. It's just I've not had like a straight soda in a long time.
Yeah,
I think last time I had one was here,
probably.
and I think I had the same reaction.
But yeah, so there's winners and losers. Well, maybe not really losers, because if you're nominated, you're a winner.
That's a big deal.
You win, you win. And then lots of announcements and trailers and
Black Myth Wukong guys might think they're losers.
oh,
Yeah,
dear.
they're pretty upset.
So before we get into some of the trailers and the reveals, I'm just curious because I didn't sit down and watch this. I had family things going on, but these guys did. What is your reaction to this is the 10th anniversary, that show in general? Did the right games win the awards. How are the vibes?
I don't know if I'll go as like right games winning awards, just because I don't know that I can speak to that. But
Sure.
like, as far as the show goes, I mean, I think this was definitely one of the better, if not best, years as far as like show itself goes.
Nice.
It was a great show.
I thought it was really well paced. They didn't rush anybody or play anybody off of the stage. They gave everybody their time to give their speeches. They moved through the awards that we really just don't need to slow down for.
Mm-hmm.
Like esports game of the year, esports this, esports that. Like they did a really good job of moving through the inconsequential awards and shining the light on the big ones, the games of the year, the art direction, adaptation, things like that. So it was cool. I thought it was a great show. Reveals aside, I thought it was a great show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, Jeff gets a lot of criticism, especially last year.
Yep.
And I'm not saying it was undeserved. It was deserved. Last year's show was pretty bad. But Jeff, I think, is really good at listening
Yep.
to the video game community.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, nobody got played off stage.
Yep.
Everybody that was allowed to speak on stage everybody that was given the opportunity was allowed to be up there.
Yep.
And then also, like, a big criticism of Jeff has been he does not talk about the
industry.
He feels like he has to cozy up to the industry to get announcements and trailers and things like that.
He just never talks about.
He kind of plays both sides of the coin, but this year maybe not so much.
No, not at all. He invited somebody up. He gave them an award. I don't remember what the award was. But it was a guy who's started a business he helps people who have been laid off in the video game industry and get them back on their feet and find new jobs.
What was that guy's?
It was
really cool.
It was really cool.
He even gave him like a whole, like he got to talk on stage and then he got to do there was a whole video set.
Yeah.
It was
wow.
a 5-minute video.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's very neat.
And then there's also just the part like they had the Muppets there and they just roasted Jeff the entire time.
Dude, the Muppets were great.
They were awesome.
They were so funny.
I don't remember his name. The boss of Larian had a great speech before Game of the Year.
Yep.
Highly encourage you to go look that up. He gave the formula on how to win Game of the Year, and it's very simple to turn out. I watched that again like just the other day.
Yeah, it was good.
And I kind of got teary eyed because you just never hear anybody talk like that.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the guy who won it last year, who made one of the best. He directed one of the best games ever.
I just feel like it was a very honest take.
Yeah,
it was
it looked like somebody who was really fed up over the past
year.
year.
For sure. It looked like a guy who was gonna call out other studios and say, "Hey, look, do what you love, make the game you want to play," and it's just
if the devs don't like the game, the players aren't gonna like it.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was just a cool. I don't know. It felt like a moment of honesty that hasn't been there. Like you get those acceptance speeches, and sometimes they feel a little canned.
Yeah.
Like his wasn't an acceptance speech, but he was dishing. It was good stuff.
Yeah. Then obviously Flute Guy was back. He's
always
always entertaining.
They didn't do it too much this year. There was a little egregious right away, but then they kind of got away from it. Yeah. So that was good.
What else? I'm trying to think of other just gags that happened.
They had
Harrison Ford showed up.
Yeah, Harrison Ford showed up. That was interesting.
That was fun.
He had mentioned that if he had known Troy Baker was going to do it as well as he did, he would have just done it himself, which I thought was kind of funny. Snoop Dogg performed. That was interesting. Mm-hmm. I always enjoy the medley for the Game of the Year stuff. I think that's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
It sounded a lot better this year, I feel like. I don't know if it was the way they mic'd it or whatever, but it just felt like it was cleaner to listen to.
I don't remember last year's.
I feel like last year's just sounded really muffled almost.
Yeah.
And maybe that was because of what was nominated, and it was
it might have just been like,
this
is the music we have to choose from.
Yeah, the way it all flowed together this year felt pretty good.
What won music last year? Wasn't it Final Fantasy 16?
Probably. If a Final Fantasy game is nominated for music, it almost always wins.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it won this year.
Yeah. But no, all in all, you can even take the announcements out of it. I thought it was a great show. I thought it was the other thing we haven't really mentioned, but like the pace of it was good.
Yeah.
Like I did not feel like there was a lull. Like it just felt like it moved. We looked up, it was like 10 o'clock. We were like, oh crap, that was 3 hours long. Like it was good.
3.5 if you count the pre-show.
Right.
And like I think another part of it too, just kind of after last year and how it felt like the awards didn't matter.
Yeah.
I think this year it kind of went in just going, this is a marketing show that also has moments to celebrate the game industry.
Right.
And I think I've kind of just accepted that now.
Yeah, I think we're all moving in that direction at this point.
It's like, okay, yeah, they need marketing. I get it.
Yep.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Nice. Good.
Can't wait for
Glad
next
to hear
year.
it. Glad to hear it. Okay. Announcements.
There was a lot of them.
Some trailers. What are the things that the internet's buzzing about that you guys want to talk about? What should
What should I be excited about? The wrong thing. That's not
Oh, okay.
But struggling over here. What Jeff did say is like they want to take a look at / celebrate the next decade of gaming. So like some of this stuff is years away that was revealed. So with a grain of salt, some of these announcements are pretty like one of them's not even named. Like the Project Robot or whatever. Like there
was two that aren't.
There was that one.
1.5, and then the Okinama. It's called sequel.
Onimusha sequel. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like they have a couple things that are nowhere near happening.
Yeah.
In 2030.
I don't know. There's a lot of buzz about The Witcher 4.
Yeah.
Good and bad.
Good and bad.
Well,
the people who played the game think it's good.
Good and annoying.
Yes.
Okay.
So I wouldn't say there's really bad buzz.
Yeah.
It's just annoying.
But the people who played The Witcher 3, this is the direction this was going the whole time. And actually, like, CD Projekt Red has been like, we've just kind of been waiting to get Ciri to be the main character. We've had to get there from a story perspective. And so we're happy to finally be there. So the reveal is that Ciri is a Witcher. Which again, if you've played the game, you've kind of known where that was headed.
Dude, I don't play the game, and I could have guessed her that.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious. But the trailer was awesome. It was like a 5 or 6 minute like little cutscene of.
Apparently, it's like going to be a playable mission. It's just like this is just one of the outcomes that can.
Oh.
It's pretty sweet. I'm excited for this game. Like I want to play this. Like I want to try to dive into it when it releases.
I've never played a Witcher game. I'm gonna play this.
Yeah, I think it looked awesome.
This honestly just looks like a kind of how God of War was. It just feels like a new jumping on point.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, it's a great way to view it.
Honestly, if it would have been Geralt, I'd probably just been like, okay, I might check it out. But like this feels
like where you can
like
jump
a
in.
new beginning.
Yeah, and Geralt is in it. He speaks at the end of the trailer. Everybody's freaking out. Where's Geralt? He speaks like he's in it. Don't worry. The voice actor has come out and said too.
Oh, but serious, she's a girl. I can't play as a girl. She's not hot enough.
Yeah, they made her jawline less sharp. So,
dude, I just got to be honest.
So it's woke.
I'm glad the gaming industry is just catching up to me. You guys know I make female. If I have the option to choose, I'd say like 8 out of 10 times I'm making a female character.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. So what else was there? There was Witcher 4. There's a bunch of stuff. I mean, there's so many. There's a big one we can save for last. Which they did too.
There was a Borderlands 4?
There was a Borderlands 4, which was a little surprising that everybody had thought they were going to change up the style. Nope, it's just more Borderlands. And I think, like, for Borderlands fans, that's probably okay.
Yeah.
You know, like, but kind of like where Witcher feels like a jumping on point, Borderlands 4 just doesn't.
Yeah.
It just feels like another Borderlands.
If there was not a 4 at the end of that,
you would not be able to tell the difference.
I would not know if this was a new game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They all look the same to me.
Their graphical style, yeah. It looks, I mean, it always looks like that. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. but they had Randy Pitchford come out, and he
was very excited to.
he kind of bombed his little pre-game speech before the trailer.
He's like,
kinda weird.
I'm just gonna stop talking. You
And
guys
then-
want to see a trailer?
Oh gosh.
Yeah, it was weird.
I mean, that being said, I don't always need somebody to talk.
No.
You can just play the trailer.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't mention this. Kojima did not get 20 minutes on stage,
What?
but he was on stage.
He was. He just presented.
He's presented an award.
Oh, he didn't showcase anything he's been working on. All right, good for them. They showed restraint.
They did.
They had big enough reveals that they didn't need Kojima.
Yeah, there's some pretty large ones in there. So I can't remember. There was one game, and it's not like lighting the world on fire, but the people, Slow Clap, the studio that made Sifu,
Yeah.
they announced like a soccer game called Rematch.
Dude, it was so weird.
It's so weird. Like that one to me was like the weirdest. Maybe I'll check this out of all.
Interesting.
But yeah, I mean,
We talked about it this week. There's only one sports game I'll ever check out. An NBA Street revival or remake of
We need
NBA
it.
Street Volume 2.
dude, we need it.
Best sports game ever made.
Hey, Backyard Baseball made it back. Maybe Street
They did.
can too.
We did.
But
Outer Worlds 2.
yeah, this is one I'm excited for.
I'm very excited for this game.
Oh, this trailer was hilarious.
Dude,
Every
their marketing team is awesome.
They are. They have such a dial in on what they are as a company, and you assume that kind of bleeds over into company culture, but just the vibe of the game, and it's so good. It looks so good.
Another reason why Avowed feels so jarring.
Mm.
I think I'm just so used to like this presentation from them. But yeah, they say more action, more weapons, more graphics, and from what I see in the trailer, I'd have to agree. It looks really good.
Yep. This one I thought was. I've not finished Secret Level. I've only watched one episode, but they did show the new Pac-Man spin-off game called Shadow Labyrinth.
Oh, this was the thing you were mentioning earlier.
Yeah, this is not my kind of game. I likely won't play this, but I think it does provide at least some context for what they were going for with the Secret Level thing.
Yeah,
Which
they talked about that too.
Yeah. So.
And just like a little, I guess, tease for Secret Level. I think they couldn't have made a more wrong decision.
Yeah, we'll see how the game is received. I've not watched the episode, so I can't speak to that.
I don't
But
think Pac-Man was the thing in need of being revisited.
spin-offs on classics, man.
So stupid. Let's see, what else do we got here? Mafia. You're looking forward to Mafia.
I am looking forward to Mafia. There's a few games. So there's a few
The trailer is awesome.
prequels, sequels, reboot-quels, kind of things that are coming.
Yeah.
That were announced that I'm very excited for. I'll just raffle off a few of those. Mafia is one of those. I think this game looks awesome.
I think the trailer is really good.
Like for what they're doing, going back to 1912 or something like that,
like
and
100 years ago.
and doing a Mafia game. Like, come on, that sounds in the Italian countryside. Like, what are we doing here? Let's do that. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Another one I thought, Turok Origins. I don't know if you ever played the Turok games. I used to love Turok. The only difference is it's third person instead of first person, which is interesting.
Okay.
But it's not like you're a dude and there's dinosaurs. It's like you have powers and stuff. It looks very unique.
All right.
By comparison to what Turok has always been.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty excited to check that one out. Another sequel here that I'm excited to check out. I don't know how much I'll play it, but Splitgate 2 got a trailer.
Yes.
We had a little bit of a time where we played Splitgate.
I love Splitgate, yeah.
Got our first look at that, so that's exciting. That sounds like it's coming out this year. And then the other one,
Virtua Fighter?
I was going to mention Virtua Fighter. That's pretty cool that that's coming back as a really popular game back in the day. If you ever got into those.
From RGG.
Yeet. No, I can't find it, but it was
Onimusha?
no. Gosh dang it. I didn't play the first one of this. So hold on. It's right here. Solasta 2. I didn't play the first game of this, but this just looks like another Baldur's Gate style game. And it's D&D 5e. Like it is a D&D Wizards of the Coast licensed game called Solasta 2. And I don't know. It looks like a less clean, less intuitive version of Baldur's Gate, but I'm sure they have their thing that makes it work. But I did think this looked pretty interesting. If you're gonna jump to that one, I have one or two more I want to mention. This one I thought looked really cool. We thought this was Sleeping Dogs, Project Sentry.
Oh yeah, the other RGG game.
Yeah, this looks sweet. Like I'm pretty interested in this. It's like Japan street
1900s.
Yeah, like 1900 street
maybe.
gang kind of game. Dude,
Okay.
it looks really interesting. 1915, a third person action game. So, yeah, Project Sentry. It's made by the people who made Like a Dragon, but it's not as like flamboyant and bombastic as those games, at least from what we could tell so far. But I thought it looked really pretty. And then we thought, Brett, there was a moment where we thought Titanfall 3 was getting revealed. They had a little drop pod, and I was like, you got to be kidding me. It's happening. But it was not that.
Steel Hunters?
But it's called Steel Hunters, and I actually think this looks pretty cool. I mean,
it's a
sign
mecha
Luke
game.
up for anything like this.
It's a mecha game, so like I'm got a foot in the door, but you're gonna have to really show me something good.
Yeah.
Like a well polished, non-microtransaction filled product.
Yeah. Because like we did get some gameplay in this trailer. I would actually say it was a decent bit of it.
Yeah.
There was like a whole section where we were watching like a battle take place.
Yeah.
And it looked fun.
Yeah.
Like it looked really cool. Like you got a bunch of different kinds of mechs. Looks like you have
tiger mech?
Yeah, there was
I thought
like
it was a Zord at
Yeah,
first.
right. Like almost like Power Rangers. Like we had a weird group of things happening, but I mean it reminded me very much of Titanfall. Like but it wasn't. But still, I'm interested. I'm curious about this one.
Yeah, this looks interesting. I'm just
Are you looking at some pictures
looking at
of
the
it?
trailer. I just pulled up the trailer.
Yeah. There's like a drop pod at one point, and I'm like, no way. That would have been like the biggest announcement sans the final announcement.
I feel
It
like
really
we
almost
won't-
feels like a Transformers game.
A little bit. It's like a Transformers / Power Rangers / Titanfall
Yeah.
game.
It. You know,
Jeez,
I feel like it's gonna be the equivalent of a mobile game, but
on console.
on
Yeah.
PC. Yeah.
We've seen it before, right? Like,
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
We're getting a new standalone From Software game.
Yeah. The more I read on this, the more I think this is stupid.
I honestly
Is it
don't
an
understand
Elden
what
Ring
it is.
spinoff?
Yes,
called
Elden Ring
Night
Night Rain.
Night Rain.
So
I've heard every description for this game. Like I've heard like roguelite, whatever Fortnite is, I can't Battle Royale, action event, like every single one of those descriptors I've heard for this game at some point. And it's just like I don't know what this is. I was gonna play it anyway, but like
I read a little bit about it, and I think it sounds stupid.
I think they need to just be like, here's a 20-minute gameplay demo of
Oh, they're gonna
Like
give
art-
you that.
our guy. Here's what you're gonna be doing.
Here is one run on this roguelite storm draining thing. So you're a night runner or something like that is what they call them. And
Night Rainer?
that's what I would think, but it's not that. You go out, you can choose from like 8 different classes that have unique skills and ultimate abilities.
Okay.
I'm going to go on a rant about this game here in just a moment. Give me a second. Basically, you drop in like you would in a battle royale. You land and you are looting and fighting enemies, and then when the night comes, the ring closes, and at the end it's about 15 minutes. And at the end of each ring closing, you fight a night boss, and it's random. Then you fight another one, and then the third night, if you make it that far, you get like the big boss of each run. And if you beat that, then obviously you beat your run. You get a bunch of stuff. You get some like modifiers that you can add to your class, things like that. So you can power up your class each time you drop in. Your class is a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, and it's multiplayer, so you're playing with friends.
Yeah.
Which
Not-
that part is interesting.
It's
not like traditional Elden Ring multiplayer. It is straight up. You lobby up and go in together.
Yeah. But you're not doing any of. It's not like they're not mixing in extraction shooter-esque things too, where it's like you could
Until
Dark
they do.
Zone or
Right.
where you could lose your okay.
I mean,
it's purely cooperative.
When you die, you lose stuff. Yes.
Yeah. But it's in a cooperative. You're not.
You're not fighting
fight
other people.
players. Okay, gotcha.
So here's my rant. And I don't know. It's not really a rant, but I think it's a little bit disappointing. I'm not a From Software guy, and I recognize that, and I know there's going to be some From Software people here that really are going to disagree or whatever, and they're like, no, this is a great take, or this is a great idea. From Software has never made a name for itself chasing trends. They have been the trendsetter. Everybody makes a Souls-like game. Yeah. Everybody wants to get in on that now. And now they're chasing this weird roguelite battle royale thing. And it's like why are they why? I guess. Why chase this now? Like Elden Ring is one of the most successful games really of all time, I'd say. I mean, it's had a crazy good run.
Yeah.
Financially, reviewed incredibly well. It lived up to every bit of hype that it had and garnered. And now they're like, well, let's just put Elden Ring on the title. You know, introduce a multiverse, which that's part of this too.
Oh, gosh.
It's like a universe adjacent to the Elden Ring universe. I don't know. And then make like a battle royale roguelite thing. I don't know. It feels like a trend chase that was relevant a few years back. Mm-hmm. But because they're From Software and they're slapping Elden Ring in the title, it's going to do well.
Yeah.
I'm curious how big the team was for this.
Right. Like,
because it's also coming out so fast.
Yeah. I mean, this feels like it happened super quick. Like maybe it was part of their multiplayer DLC for Elden Ring that they just decided to expand out.
Yeah, maybe.
It's hard to say, but for me, it's weird to see From Software, who's been kind of a trailblazer, become a trend chaser. And obviously it's a little different, but I don't know. I hope it's good for the people who will play this. I hope it's good. I don't want it to fail.
Right.
But it's just not. I suck at these games, so I will not be partaking. What was that trailer that we got? It was like Infinity. It wasn't Infinity Nikki, but it was like
Catly?
Yeah, that.
The cat AI game?
Dude, that game looks nutso.
Dude, I just love how everybody's just like, this is AI.
Dude, what was the is this in the Demons and Something universe?
Dungeon and Fighter universe?
Dungeon and Fighter universe.
Oh, dude,
did you see these trailers?
No.
When we're done with the show, we need to watch these trailers back to back, please.
Okay. We have to watch them in the same order, though.
Yes.
You will not. I think it'll blow your mind.
Okay.
It's like
really blow your
insane.
mind.
It is the most stark contrast you could possibly have. It is bizarre.
And if you know, you know.
Correct.
My biggest one of the night, though, this will be obvious. We finally got the new game that Naughty Dog's been working on for the past 4 years.
Oh, yeah.
And I sent the breakdown to you guys of all kind of what it is, and I was just like, I think they just asked me what I want, because it honestly just looks so awesome. It's a sci-fi game, brand new world, and you play like a bounty hunter, and you're trapped on this planet.
In an alternate universe where space travel reached its peak in the 80s.
Yeah, and you're driving a Porsche spaceship, so that's awesome.
Love it.
I kind of have a breakdown here what it is.
Dude, before you read that, you know what I thought when I finished watching this? Mm-hmm. Remember the first thing we ever got from Concord?
Oh, yeah.
It was all you got was a ship with a room, and you had music, and then yeah. And I was like, man, this is gonna be sick. The game that it should have been is this. This is going to be sick.
Yes.
I'm so excited for this.
Yeah.
I'm reading Culture Crave's
Yeah,
tweet
go
right
for it.
now. Follows a bounty hunter in an alternative universe where space travel has significantly advanced by 1986. Inspired by Akira and Cowboy Bebop. Oh, yeah.
It just
baby.
oozes it, too.
Oh, my gosh. That is so amazing. Over 250 developers have been working on it for the last 4 years.
Wow.
So, might mean it comes out.
It's incredible.
Next year.
The only thing that got out was that it was sci-fi.
Yeah.
It is incredible that
Yeah.
nothing else leaked from Naughty Dog.
They've had so many
They're
leaks.
notorious.
They were like, we gotta lock this down.
Notorious for it.
We'll have the deepest gameplay in Naughty Dog's history. I actually feel like that's subjective.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't really know what I'm supposed to take from that.
I'm wondering if that means
More like
I don't have to walk down this street.
Well, remember there was a
Because-
rumor it was like
Yeah.
open-ish world.
Yeah.
I did see another tweet too that they they had felt inspired by From Software, but about this is Druckmann was saying this about how it's not the way they do storytelling is kind of vague,
Yeah.
and he's like how he kind of wanted to experiment with that. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's a lot more open,
I like it.
and we're just kind of exploring this planet because like Uncharted and The Last of Us were a one-way street. You could barely even go backwards. And I'm all for that. Where was I on this tweet? Soundtrack is scored by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross.
So sick,
Yep.
dude.
Let's go.
The cast includes Tati Gabrielle, Kumail Nanjiani, Tony Dalton, and Troy Baker.
Dude, I was like freaking out with that little bounty hunter picture. I was like, "That's Kumail," and you were like, "What?" And I was like, "Dude, that's Kumail Nanjiani." It's like, no way.
Also, this freaking sword that she's holding.
Oh, yeah.
With like the sound waves on it. Oh,
It reminds me of the sword from Xenoblade Chronicles.
Oh, dude, I freaking love this sword. And I'm hoping whatever song is playing, like
It pulses to it or
pulses
something.
that. Oh, dude, this game is just like they said, Luke.
We got you, baby.
Trust us. We're making a game for you. Oh, please don't suck.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. I think this looks. Have you watched the trailer, Brett?
Yeah.
I think it looks so cool.
Yeah. No. It's
But this game is
got good-
controversial too because she's shaving her head.
oh,
It's
yeah.
like, oh, she's not hot enough. Why we have to play as a girl? Dude, I'm so over that. And it's the same people that tweet it every time. Freaking Grums. I can't stand that dude. Oh my gosh. But yeah, that was the one more thing.
nice.
Yeah, it was sick.
And I remember we were watching it too, and you were like, "Is this Naughty Dog's new game?" And I was like, "I don't know." And you're like, "Do those character animations look like Naughty Dog?" And I'm
Yeah.
like,
I was like, as I'm looking at it, I'm like, it kind of does.
and then yeah, it popped up, Crash Bandicoot, and I think
Yeah.
I was just like, "Oh, yep."
Let's go.
It was-
If you would have told 10-year-old Brett that the developers who made Crash Bandicoot would go on to make The Last of Us and even Uncharted is
Yeah.
by the crazy.
Dude,
Crazy.
I'll tell you
But
what,
I love it.
Something I'm really excited for this game, Intergalactic. The tone is kind of going back to more of the Uncharted. This is fun. There's just never really any fun moments in both Last of Us games.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of glad they're going back to that.
Good.
I'm
And
excited
then we
to
can
hear.
play The Last of Us 3 in 10 years and,
Cry again.
just cry endlessly while playing a video game for 20 hours.
I'm really excited to hear the soundtrack for this.
Yeah.
Not just like the Atticus, Reznor and Atticus, but like the licensed music they pull for the 80s stuff.
Dude, this trailer got me so hyped. The next day at work, I was just listening to like synthwave music. I was so excited.
Nice.
Yeah, there was some really good reveals. It was a really good show. A lot to look forward to.
Good.
In the games industry. You kind of hinted at what I wanted to ask for the Naughty Dog title. You said maybe we'll see this next year?
I think this can come out next year.
It's possible.
They've kept it so secret.
Yeah, it's hard to know where they're at with it.
I would say late. 25.
The majority of
its
any
earliest.
game's final development happens in the last 12 months.
I would
So if they're
be-
confident with where they're at mechanically with the game, like this is what the game is,
yeah.
and it's just about brute forcing the rest of it. That's all game
Well,
development.
we know they're good at crunching, so.
Yeah. Like, I think Luke's right. I think this could be a late 25.
I would guess spring 26.
But I wonder if it's a spring. My guess is it's like
Yeah, just at the earliest, late 25.
late
Yeah.
25 is where the goalposts are. It'll probably get moved to.
Spring 26.
That's where the first date will be, and then obviously delayed.
Yep.
Because
That's
every game
just
gets
what
delayed,
happens.
as they
That's what
should.
happens.
Yeah, I'm excited for this.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Very cool. Well, sweet. Sounded like a fun game awards. I'm glad I got to see some of those trailers and hear about some others. So.
Oh, we missed one.
Oh.
We didn't talk about Split Fiction.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah.
didn't. Wow.
We talked about it before the
I was
show.
going to say, because we were watching it. Yeah, Split Fiction, Joseph Fares' new game, It Takes Two developer, Brothers, Way Out, A Way Out.
A Way Out.
They did that one too, or he did that one too. Yeah, this looks awesome.
Fantasy and sci-fi game.
Mashed into one. It looks hilarious, which it looks like it just oozes what Joseph Fares is.
Yeah.
Fun.
Dude, his speech
Funny.
was hilarious. Too.
He is a character, man, and I'm very excited to check this one
Homie
out.
came out and just started dropping F-bombs. Jeff was just like, "Eee."
He's like, ooh,
This thing we're on Twitch and YouTube.
sponsors ain't gonna love that one.
That's so him though.
But yeah,
Oh
that
my
looks like a fantastic
goodness.
game. I haven't played any of his other games, but I'm hoping I can play this one. Can't play it by myself.
Yeah, It Takes Two's a lot of fun.
Cool deal. All right. Up next, Luke and I both went and saw The Lord of the Rings: War of the Rohirrim.
Did you guys go separately or together?
Yeah, we went
Oh.
separately. Maybe
I went and saw it in IMAX.
I wish I mean,
I remember when we were playing D&D, you were like, "Oh, but Claire's got something there, so I can't
Yeah.
see it." Then I was like, "Well, I'm not even gonna ask then."
yeah.
I just went.
Yeah. I liked this well enough.
You sound so confident.
You sound like you're convincing yourself.
Look, it's an interesting idea, and I actually think the idea to do a Lord of the Rings anime could really work. I don't know if this was the right story for that. I think Luke has a slightly different take in general, but overall, it's a pretty meh written story. You know, visually, I think it hits in a few areas, but overall, like, it just doesn't do enough to convince me that this was the story worth telling. And while I had a certain amount of fun, it's not one, like, if Stephanie really wants to go see it, I'll go watch it again. But it's not one that I'll be like, oh yeah, you've got to go, we've got to go watch that. Which is disappointing. It's the first time a Lord of the Rings thing has come out, and I've been like, I don't know if I really need to watch that again, or even want to. So ultimately disappointing, but I still did. I think there are redeemable qualities. I think it has some good moments, some good acting. I think more of it has to do with what the cast was given than what they did with it. And it just it honestly feels too familiar for Lord of the Rings. Like, they do so much referencing to the movies that it's uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. It was uncomfortable in terms of, like, I'm just not the nostalgia guy, right? Like, I don't mind a sprinkling of, but this was just like, not even try and really change it up. So, Luke?
It was the Solo, a Star Wars story.
Oh, no.
For Lord of the Rings. And if
Noted.
you like Solo...
Which I do.
And you like this. You know what I don't like? Solo. And I did not like this movie.
So it's Lord of the Rings, the Wikipedia page?
It's Lord of the Rings, the Rohan Wikipedia page.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it's a well-made movie. And it finished, and I was just like, what in the world was this? I get home, and I kind of just, start doing stuff at home. And I get on Twitter, and WB has put out something that says, yeah, we fast-tracked this movie so we could maintain media release rights for Lord of the Rings.
And it really does feel like that.
Everything made sense. I was like, I get it. I know why this is a bad movie. Or why I think it's a bad movie. And it's just really disappointing. And I guess I did see it coming, but didn't want to believe it because I didn't like the trailer.
Yeah.
Half the trailer was Peter Jackson's live action Lord of the Rings movie. And it's going, go back to Middle Earth. You know what? That's exactly what it was. You just went back to Middle Earth, and it was just like, kind of like going to grandma's house and there's nothing to do.
It really feels like it's very much a return to Lord of the Rings, the Two Towers, just the Rohan section though, of course, right? Where it's like, hey, remember all these things?
Remember Helm's Deep?
Remember Isengard?
You remember Edoras?
Remember the stable in Edoras?
Do you remember those elephants?
Hey, that oh no, that was in.
Do you remember that?
They were in
squid?
Two Towers. That one wasn't. The Watcher was just in.
That's in
Fellowship, but
that one, honestly, to me, was just like the biggest. Remember this?
Yeah,
and it was just like, we could have just taken out this section. That's another thing. This movie's long.
I was gonna say, does it feel long?
It's
really long.
2:15.
It's pretty boring, I'd say.
Should be 1:45, probably.
Yeah, it definitely should have. It should have at least just been under 2 hours.
Yeah.
There's no reason for it to just keep going.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was boring. The large scale battles are terrible. We talked about this before. There's some 1v1 sword fights. They're pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like there's a battle out in front of the plains of Edoras. You're just, am I saying that right?
Edoras.
Edoras.
Well, I can look it up. Hold on.
Like there's a fight out there, and you're just like, what is this? And like that's the point in the movie where it's like, this isn't going to be good. And it's about halfway through.
Is that a dictionary?
Yeah.
Look at this nerd. No wonder you liked this movie, you nerd.
What a dweeb.
What a dork.
This one doesn't actually give you the right
Pronunciations.
The phonetic reading.
I think my other take for this movie, I think it's very poorly animated. And I'm going to steal something from, I think it was Jeremy Johns.
Love that guy. Shout out Jeremy Johns.
He said, if you pause this movie and you take a snapshot, it is gorgeous. But once the movie's in motion, it just doesn't look good. It's really choppy. I felt like I was missing frames. And then like there's parts where characters are just moving all the time and it looks goofy. It's like we don't need to be swaying when we're talking. It was just weird. And then there's like matte paintings blended with animation, blended with CGI, and it just doesn't mesh together well. And I think that's part of the fast tracking.
Yeah, they probably skipped some steps.
Yeah.
I would agree with all that. And yeah, because what I will say is I think that there are, like you mentioned, some moments in especially like the one-on-one fights where the animation I think does look good. It's like, oh, they took their time here. This feels nice. There are some of those slower moments, especially at the beginning when you're getting more of the wide sweeping vistas, or when you first show up to new locations where it's like, oh, like these matte paintings are really beautiful. But it's a lot of those in-between moments that the characters just don't feel like they're really a part of, like, physically in the world. Like, there's a disconnect with the painterly environment and the very stark, bold anime characters that just does not, I don't know, they just don't feel like they go together.
Yeah.
Kind of feel like they're just floating on a plane.
Mm-hmm.
Which is really unfortunate.
Yeah. And you had mentioned before, there's really kind of for the second half of the movie, there's a lot of snow.
Yeah.
And it kind of starts to blend a little better.
It kind of helps hide some of that.
Yeah, there's just some like white noise there to kind of blend some stuff, so it's not as really jarring.
Yeah.
But yeah, the villain is awful, just terrible. Really, the whole movie's just a kind of a big cliche. Like I feel like I've seen every character before. Especially the villain. That's really the biggest one, though.
Yeah. No, my problem with the villain was as much as archetypal as Tolkien tends to be, and fairly uncomplicated, right? He doesn't write terribly complicated.
Good versus evil.
Yeah. It's not complicated. It just did not feel like a very Tolkien character.
Yeah.
It felt like generic run of the mill could be in, this could be a villain in a sci-fi show or any other Game of Thrones video game but
we
without
didn't talk about that either.
without some of the
we don't care about it.
Complicated, I don't know, at least with something like Game of Thrones, you get interesting backstory and those characters are, three-dimensional. This is a very one-dimensional antagonist, which was just not compelling at all.
Yeah. The other thing is probably my last thing, which was one of my big problems, was the music. The music is really good when it's Howard Shore's music.
Yeah.
I couldn't even tell you a single note of whoever did the new stuff. I don't remember it all. But, like, the Rohan thing comes in. Awesome. The Lord of the Rings theme, amazing. But it wasn't new.
Yeah. And I recall, like, there was a motif for the main character.
Yeah.
That vaguely, like, I would say it was Lord of the Rings adjacent, but it didn't quite feel Lord of the Rings. It's like, oh, I can see how they got here writing this, but I'm not convinced it's what I wanted, or it doesn't quite feel right. But no, I don't know. I do think, you kind of mentioned the whole, like, solo thing. There's a lot of explaining things. I don't necessarily hate some of that. Like, a lot of it's set around the character of Helm Hammerhand, which is what Helm's Deep gets renamed at the end of this film. It's like, it's renamed after him.
Best character in the movie.
And he does some really cool things. He has especially in the he's probably the most interesting character in terms of character decisions, things that he's making as king. Not always smart decisions in my mind, but at least he's making decisions.
Classic kings.
Kings know better than their daughters until they don't.
That's right.
But especially in the third act, when he's kind of been bedridden, and then all of a sudden there's like he's disappeared, and there's this ghostly, what's going on. There's kind of almost like a spiritual, mythical aspect that comes into the film. I think some of that stuff is pretty cool.
I'm going to be honest, I'm not really sure I really understand.
Oh, I don't either. I don't quite understand it either, but I thought it was kind of cool. It was one of the more unique elements of the film, and I think that's why I grabbed onto it like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah. I don't know what's happening here, but all right.
Yeah. I'd say my biggest positive was the voice acting.
Yeah. The voice acting
even like good. Wolf, a character I didn't like, I still think he's really good. They're all great at conveying emotion through their voice.
Yeah.
And Wolf, Helm, and Hera.
Yeah.
I think are all great.
Yeah, and I'll also another positive for me I want to mention is the costuming. We talked in recent episodes at some point when the trailer came out, maybe how
Her boots.
like the boots.
Oh, the boots drive me crazy.
The boots can drive you crazy. I actually think a lot of the outfits really work pretty well.
Her entire out. I feel so bad just complaining about her boots. But just like it, I'm trying to just imagine riding a horse and walking and sitting in those.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the ladies are just stronger than I can really comprehend, which is probably true.
It's
but
definitely true. No, but like I think Helm's armor is great. His helmet is super unique and very cool.
mm-hmm.
I think Hera when the final
Yeah.
like when she puts on the dress, and man, I need more things like with the veil that attached like to the hilt of the sword. I just loved how it was gone so fast, but I loved how it looked, and I was like, oh, I need more things like this. Oh my gosh. So no, overall it's a Matthew McConaughey for me, like a pretty low one if I'm being honest. Unless you're really a diehard Lord of the Rings fan, I don't know if I would recommend this. And even then, you may be disappointed just on quality. So,
yeah, it's a straight to streaming for me. This is a movie you wait for it to be on HBO, because it will.
Yeah, oh,
and
for sure.
You're folding laundry when you're watching this.
Yeah. It'll be on HBO before the end of the year, I bet.
Yeah, it made $0.
I guess that's a good segue, right?
It's going to go straight to streaming so fast.
It's really, like, for Lord of the Rings, like, you'd expect people to kind of show up. Like, even tons of people are watching Rings of Power if they like it or not.
Yeah.
And then animated movie, and it's like, nope. I guess people weren't as high on the idea of it as maybe they were hoping.
Yeah.
Well,
news?
I guess segueing into box offices.
Yeah.
I don't know, have the exact numbers, but I thought
I know the
Kraven movie made less than Madam Web and Morbius at the box office.
I know
in its opening weekend.
I know Lord of the Rings made at least $20 right here.
Yeah.
And I know Kraven made at least 10.
Yeah.
But that also being said, we both have unlimited, so 0.
Correct. So Kraven had the worst box office of this Sony villain Spider-Verse thing.
Yep.
3,211 theaters. It made $11 million.
Oh, dude, that is so bad. Remember when the director was like, "Come on, give my movie a chance.
Give us a chance."
Dude, he begged for people to go see his movies, and everybody's like, no, we don't do begging.
Yeah. Dude, also, like, the producer, what's his name? Avi
Arad?
Yeah.
Future,
Legend of Zelda producer. His last, 4 movies, they've all been, awful. The last 4 movies he's produced, none of them are...
Sony Spider-Man movies and Borderlands.
Yeah.
Oh, he was...
yeah, it's been bad stuff for him.
Find the trend, Sony.
So, yeah, no, this is something. This is something. I've also, to carry on that story, apparently they've announced that they're done.
Yeah. It's on... Haven't they said it's on hold?
It'll show up in the Spider-Verse
What
movies,
I saw was... I have it written down. Taking this misfire very seriously. Has a reset in store.
Oh.
What does that mean?
Exactly. What does it mean?
What does that mean? Means
Madam
they'll try,
Web 2,
they'll
baby.
try again. Well,
what's the best movie of those?
Okay. I think people would say Venom 1 or Venom 2. Me, I think it's Venom 3, and my second favorite one is actually Madam Web.
Yeah, but you like Madam Web because of how bad it is.
Yeah. That is very true.
I think of all of them, I think Venom 1 is probably the best one.
Venom 1 made $1 billion. You have to remember that.
It did.
So if you're one of the people that made this movie make $1 billion, I just want you to know I don't like you. You're the reason we've been tortured for 4 years.
Wow,
I guess
we're a part of that.
Yeah.
We all bought tickets.
We had a job to do. We had a job to do.
Fair enough.
Supporting an independent filmmaker.
Yeah, I'd say Venom 1 is probably my favorite of them, I guess. If I have to pick one.
I think the worst one is Venom 2.
So Venom,
I would agree with that.
Venom 3 has made $475 million worldwide. So, like, again, there's an audience for
the Venom movies, yeah.
some of this. I think it just depends on how it's marketed, who it's marketed to.
You know what would maybe help it? Spider-Man.
Yeah, the problem is Spider-Man's tied up in MCU land.
Is he?
And
They have two other options.
They're two. Oh no,
We're gonna have two Batman.
100% on board with them just being like, hey, we have two Spider-Men now.
Yeah,
Like, I don't know why Sony isn't just.
You know, Marvel has never said they can't use them.
No, I know.
Sony's just been
Sony just doesn't know what to. They just don't know what they're doing.
That's just so bizarre to me.
My highest rated one out of these on IMDb is Venom 3 at 2 stars.
Yeah.
On IMDb or Letterboxd?
Letterboxd. Did I say IMDb?
You did.
Do you know what they need to do?
Quit making movies.
They need to do what they're doing. This into another story here. I know. They need to do what DC's doing with Clayface. Give someone give an auteur director $50 million
To make a movie.
to make something that's not just superhero. Ugh. Like, because you can make a good superhero movie. Like, that's not what I'm not saying that's not possible. But what I'm saying is, these films have spent so much time and energy trying to make anti-heroes rather than just making
Villains.
a villain. And I get that, like, that can be scary, but we're getting, it's not a superhero movie, but we're getting Nosferatu here in like 2 weeks.
We just came off of The Penguin.
Yes, you can make good villain stories that don't glorify the character.
Yeah.
And you don't have to water them down either. Now you have to adjust your budget appropriately, but it's doable. You just need someone who doesn't. I do think there's maybe a fear that they're distancing themselves from a youth audience. Even I know that Kraven was rated R, but like,
yeah,
I don't know.
Probably Kraven is the closest one to having like an actual villain, and he's still very much an anti-hero. He's saving the day.
Yeah,
but he just murders people.
Yeah,
He's a murderer.
You did kind of hint or touch on like Clayface and what's his name?
Flanagan.
Mike. Why could I not remember his name? Yeah, Mike
Michael?
Flanagan's.
Michael F.
his Clayface movie is
Landman?
The rumor has been swirling for years.
Oh, I think he's
It's
had the script done for like 30 years.
But he just got it to where they were ready to pull the trigger on it. So
James is probably like, okay.
yeah, he's like, cool, yeah, let's do it.
I have a question. Is this in the DCU or is this in Elseworld?
I think it's an Elseworld.
I don't care.
That's my ultimate answer.
I actually do care. I care way more if it's in Elseworld. If it's in the DCU, it becomes just more confusion for you, boy.
But that's fair. That's
because
fair.
Is Batman gonna be in it?
What I don't think, yeah, fair. I just don't think it's that kind of a story. From everything I've heard, this is a body horror film, low budget, $50 million, low budget. It just doesn't need to have that kind of a scope. Just introduce us to a character. You don't have to have it set in a world and make that decision later if it needs to be. I get the benefit of making that decision now, but like make it so that it doesn't have to be, and then work it in later if it needs to be. Just kind of like what Gunn is saying with Peacemaker season 1 and Suicide Squad. It's like it's whatever's mentioned is canon. If it's not mentioned, it just don't imagine it connects. I don't know.
Because to me, honestly, I'm very excited for this.
Yeah.
I love Mike Flanagan. But I just watched 6 movies where they are in Spider-Man, but we can't use Spider-Man.
Sure,
We're doing
sure.
everything but Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And it's like, it just feels like we're doing everything but Batman. If
Gotcha.
It was in the DCU until we set him up.
Well, and like there was rumors that Reeves really wanted to use Clayface, and so maybe if this is a more quote unquote, I hate the term grounded, grounded Clayface, maybe it's something he builds into his.
I would
universe.
just love I'm a shape-shifting Mudman movie. Batman doesn't even exist.
Yeah.
Who's Batman? Like, honestly, more like a Joker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And maybe that's the route they go, and it's just a true Elseworld.
Mm-hmm.
This dude just exists, and that's the end of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is. I'm excited for this. Like, I trust that Flanagan's going to put together something good. So,
is he actually directing?
That I don't know. I just know that he wrote the script.
I think he is.
I assume he is.
Dude, he's got so much going on right now.
Well, Dark Tower's never going to get made, so.
Even outside of that, though, doesn't he have like 4 projects going on?
Does he?
I think he has a lot. I'll go look.
To the internet.
To the interwebs.
Dude, I would die without the internet.
Weird to think that we lived without it for a time. Then Al Gore gave us the internet.
Thank you, Al Gore.
He also gave us global warming, though, right?
Did he?
That's how that works. He named it, so now it's a thing.
Oh,
I
that's
think,
right.
yeah.
The only-
Oh, the life of Chuck is done. That will just come.
And then he's got Carrie. And then an untitled Exorcist / Mike Flanagan project. So he would technically have 3 things in development.
And obviously, he wants to make Dark Tower 3.5. But he also just has like a deal with Amazon or whatever now.
Yeah.
Yeah. First
you know
look.
they'll probably want something. Well, I guess Carrie. But I'm looking
Cool.
forward to it. I think he's a great filmmaker.
Yep. I saw a thing. We were talking about this, how like DC had announced a bunch of stuff, and then like it feels like none of it's getting made.
I stand by my opinion. They need to delete that video.
I saw a graphic of all the things announced there and all the things in development, and I was appalled at how many of them were actually in development. There's literally only like 5 left of the like 13 things they announced. Like everything else is already moving. I was like, dang, they actually do have a lot happening. That's just, I feel like they announce it and it's gone. Like, but then they pull up like the graphic and I'm like, oh yeah, that is actually going. That's going too. Oh wait, they have like 5 things in production right now.
Mm-hmm.
Busy.
It's wild, man. Speaking of that, we got our first look at Kyle Chandler's face for Hal Jordan.
We did?
Yeah. Very Earth 2. Very, very Earth 2. He looks
Earth 2.
like the Green Lantern Earth 2 book.
Earth 1.
Earth 1, sorry. Looks, whatever. Looks just like him from that.
Like the beard.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll see if I can find it. But looks just like it.
Awesome.
Which has been like the art they've used for everything promotional for it too, so.
Yeah, every time they show Green Lantern, it's that version.
Yeah.
Very gray. I dig it.
Yeah, and then of course associated with it is this picture.
Yeah. Dude,
So
it's a great art style. It'll be refreshing. It's nothing like the Reynolds version, which I'm sure they're probably going to try and distance themselves from, especially when they kill Hal Jordan.
So in the land of, sorry, just to move on.
No, keep going.
More DC. Is there more DC stuff?
Is there?
I don't think so. Right
Okay.
now.
A movie that none of us went to go to the theater to see, but has already landed on streaming. Red One
Oh yeah.
landed the
Is it free?
Amazon. Yeah, Amazon's biggest
Dude, I'ma
streaming
watch it.
debut.
I'm gonna watch it.
It's at 50 million plus views on its first weekend.
How many of those were The Rock in his mini houses? throwing
That's
it on all their
exactly right.
TVs
That's exactly right.
with VPNs, so it doesn't
I
look like it's
started
from the same
watching this
streamer.
and fell asleep immediately.
That might be a good thing.
So it's a
Were
good,
you,
good
like-
movie to fall asleep to.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that much. I was
Bored late at night, looking for something to lull you to sleep. Red One.
Redwood's got your back.
So I can't give it a
We
proper.
got
I can't give it a
Snowman.
proper review, but good to snooze to. There's where I rate it. Good to fall asleep to.
Nice.
Nothing wrong with that. We all need it.
We can add another live action remake to the list.
Oh yeah.
Tangled. It's official. It's happening.
That's right.
Oh, really? I
Yep.
did not
Yeah.
hear this.
Yeah, I did hear
Another
that.
one.
Oh boy.
Listen, at least this one isn't like a bunch of animals. At least
That's
it'll be
true.
people.
This will be one that could be somewhat interesting. I don't know. I don't have any faith in it
I
already.
can't wait. I
but-
just can't wait for the casting to piss everybody off because you just
for
know.
sure.
And like I don't want people to be pissed off. I just want people to be excited about the movie and just enjoy it for what it is.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be a whole thing because people have Florence Pugh in their head already or something.
Yeah.
Not realizing that she's what 30 plus. How old is she? Maybe 28. I don't know. No offense. I'm not trying to.
Hey, she could be the step not
You got it. The stepmom.
no
She's
she's
28.
not a
She's
stepmom
28?
but
She's 28. Yeah.
So I got it the third time. Second
the
time?
kidnapper
The-
mother
the
mother
Mother
Gl-
Goddle.
yeah whatever. I feel like she could play that role pretty good.
The young hot version.
Well, yeah, but then you add makeup and she gets older like it.
Yeah.
Do that.
More Avengers Doomsday news. Haley Atwell is going to be Peggy Carter again.
Of course.
And Chris Evans is back. We talked about that last week. Just get the gang back together.
I think there's even a rumor flying around. No idea how legit this is. Probably not at all. That Chris may be in another film before, whatever the Avengers movie is.
Which one?
Don't know.
Probably Cap 4.
They're actually reshooting right now.
It's a post-credit scene.
But
What are the? Probably Fantastic Four. I'd assume he'll be World War II version from 1960, hanging out there.
something. Yeah.
Book it.
Dude, that Fantastic Four movie is going to have so many cameos in it. It's going to be unbelievable.
I just better stay
It will
off.
be
I better stay off the internet for
I'm not gonna lie.
a week after I watch that.
It'll be
'cause
extremely believable.
I will be
Every
very
single one. I'll just
tempted
go.
to
Yep.
write
Should have
something.
known.
Should have known this movie was gonna be nostalgic garbage because they can't make a normal Fantastic Four movie. Gosh dang it!
I guess Malcolm in the Middle. Sorry, I just saw this. Malcolm
Yeah.
in the Middle is getting revived.
Yeah, for like 3-episode miniseries at Disney.
Dude, it's the thing now. It's just to revive things from when we were kids.
Yep.
At least,
Scrubs. We talked about Scrubs last week.
at least, Skeleton Crew has the audacity to, change. It's not just a remake of the Goonies. It's almost.
It's a reskin.
It's a reskin of the Goonies.
It's got lightsabers in it. And
I've
Not yet.
I've not
in the
watched
first
it.
3
Oh,
episodes.
just you wait. Darth Maul's probably gonna show up.
Hey, I have actually.
Syndicate.
I have really enjoyed Skeleton Crew. It's quite.
Are you watching it with Claire though?
No.
Oh.
Just watching it by myself. Stephanie isn't watching it with me either. It's
glad
very
it's good.
charming is the word I'm going to use. Charming.
It'll be good to watch that as I process the depression of Andor's episodes. when
I
that
think
comes
what it
out.
is, and I think what it is
Good
is
counter
that
programming.
Yeah.
the kid actors aren't bad,
Always a positive.
and they bring such innocence to it. Like, it's hard to be cynical when they're kids having fun and they're not terrible actors, if that makes sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, they're having a good time. Like, yeah, some of this, like the storyline puts them in danger, obviously, so they're not always having a good time. But like, it's kind of fun. It's lighthearted. It's not trying to be Andor, which I love Andor for what it is, but it's like it's total opposite of that. And yeah, charming. So
I can't swear.
pleasantly surprised with Skeleton Crew so far.
Such a heartbreaking line.
It is.
Man, so good.
So good. Any other news, or do you guys want to talk about what you've done this week?
I've got 2 more things.
Okay.
Just real quick.
Yeah.
Wicked Part 2 has been renamed. It's called Wicked for Good. I'm so ready. November next year, baby. 11 months. And the last thing I have, Silo has been renewed for season 3 and 4.
Oh, nice. Oh, 2 seasons.
Yeah, I do not feel bad about not watching season 2 yet. Well, I was honestly really nervous. I know I'm one person, but it's just like, I gotta watch it or else it's not gonna.
That's
keep going.
cool.
I don't have to
not
worry
gonna
now. They're already.
So they're doing book 1, book 2, and book 3 is 2 parts. Well done.
I can dig it.
Alright.
I hopefully that's where they end it. Find your end point, stick the landing,
Go home.
Yeah, get out of here.
get paid, cash that check.
Then make something new.
That's it.
Okay, Tyler, any other news stories?
He's watching football.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
He's double dipping into football.
No, you're fine. You're fine. We've kind of talked about everything I did this week already, so no.
I can talk about
new
Kraven.
there, but yeah, Luke, I know you went and saw Kraven, so give us a little review of that.
Yeah, I went and saw it. I gotta be honest. I'm at the point where this string of movies has been so poor, where it's just like I
gotta see it.
I gotta see it. And yeah, it's another one. It's bad. It's bad. It's not the worst one. I don't think it's the best one.
Mm-hmm.
It's got rated R violence. If you're into that, cool. I don't really think it serves any purpose.
That's where I was gonna does it add something to it?
There's a dude who gets chopped in half, and it's just like, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know his name. It's even like in Venom 3. People just get chewed up and spit out, and it's just like, who cares? It's just a generic army guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Kraven is never in danger. Calypso is never in danger. I guess his brother's kind of in danger. It's the plot of the movie is to save him, but like, you're never worried. The story is boring and it's cliche.
Until he's a bad guy.
This is the most video game movie I've ever seen.
That's the cliche right there, baby. We gotta save my brother so he can become the bad guy.
There's the most blatant must have been the wind in this movie that I've ever seen. And I hope you just see the clip online because I doubt you'll see the movie because I don't think either of you want to see it. But you will just burst out laughing when it happens. You're just like, no way! Like, there's people in my audience who are just like, what?
You said it's a must have been the wind
Must
moment?
have been the wind. Like
he's like sneaking around. And
have you seen the footage of people sneaking around in Indiana Jones? They're just right next to people.
Yeah.
It's that. He's wearing army boots. And he's wearing leather. It's just like, people are deaf. And I get it. If this was a comedy, maybe you could get away with it. But they take it so seriously, and it's so corny and badly made. Like, you're wearing army boots walking on cobblestone and brick. Come on, why are you sneaking? You're literally a lion in human form. Just kill him. Stop being a coward. Oh, it's so stupid. And it's just like, you eventually get to the end, and you're just like, how do you get to this point? How do these... I know they just need paychecks, but like, how do Aaron Taylor Johnson and Ariana DeBose
choose to be
in this.
Yeah.
Russell Crowe, I get it.
Yeah.
I totally get it. He's given up pretty much on acting at this point, unless it's The Nice Guys 2. I think that's the only movie he actually wants to make. Maybe the Pope's Exorcist too. But like, it's just so bad. And oh, dude. So you remember the part in Aquaman where you meet little Aquaman on the beach, and it's like the most meme acting thing now.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine watching that for 20 minutes straight.
Oof.
Like there's a very long flashback, and it's just how he gets his powers, and it's just bad acting across the board. The two kids, Russell Crowe is atrocious in this movie. It just feels like everybody's reading cue cards. There might have been a point where I think Ariana DeBose was literally just reading a card off screen.
Oh.
But like she's looking left.
Yeah.
Like to the camera. And it's just, where are we going, Kraven? Or Sergey, whatever your name is. It's just like, I know for a fact she's a great actress. I've seen her win an Oscar. Man, get your money. I like it. The people who
get
made
that
it,
bread,
the
girl.
people who made it, who wrote it, directed it, don't care about this movie. They're just there to service Spider-Man as a IP.
Mm-hmm.
So go get your money. Go get it. It's fine with me. But do I have any other notes? I didn't write any notes for this. It's bad. The action honestly is okay.
Dude, my favorite thing is like every movie has it now where like it'll come out, the reviews are horrible, and there will just be this pocket of people on the internet who are like, man, I don't know what the critics are talking about, this movie's good. It's like, are you sure?
They just want to be different.
Yeah,
go against what everybody's saying. Some people are just like that, and it's very frustrating. And then there probably are some people that are just like, man, this is cool. The action is fine. Like, in some parts even good. Like, the hand-to-hand stuff, sure. We're punching each other. We're using a sword and chopping limbs. Go for it. The CG is terrible. Rhino looks horrible. Every animal in the movie's fake, and you can obviously tell.
Does he, like, control animals?
No, but yes. He can just look at them, and they're like, you know what? I understand. I'm not going to attack you. You're my friend.
Interesting.
He just has a lot. He has superpowers in this. Straight up. He jumps off a skyscraper.
Like, completely?
He hits the side of a building and then hits another side of a building and then rolls on the street and chases a car for like 30 miles and gets dragged through the water on a helicopter. He's just straight up Spider-Man. He's climbing walls.
He's the bad guy from Madam Web. Remember he gets hit by an ambulance?
No, he is! Oh my gosh. And like the funny he gets bit by a lion. The lion's blood drops inside of him, and then Calypso randomly finds him when he's a kid and is like, drink this potion, and he gets powers. Whenever he sees something far away, he gets lion zoom vision. It can just and see anything. And like, I don't want to bring out my animal expert identity because I'm not one at all. Cats don't see like humans.
Oh, right.
Have you ever seen a cat eye? They don't work the same.
They also don't have magic magnification either.
You can't just go. Whoa. He like turns off his powers. He changes his eyes and he's just like. He's like, I can see that cigarette on the. He's on the roof of a building. He's like, cigarette. It's Turkish. Jumps off. I'm gonna chase him. Ooh. It's so bad. Dude, I might be changing my mind. It might be so bad you actually have to see it. But, I mean, honestly, my review for it is straight to streaming. Yeah. There is enjoyable moments in it. Like I said, the action. Some moments, like the Must Have Been Wind. are so stupid. He has a building fall on top of him. He falls off 2 buildings. He falls off a mountain. And a normal human also lives. Because he catches them. With his body. Like, he just lands on him. And then an entire building falls on him.
So who would win, him or Dominic Toretto?
Toretto.
Family.
Toretto's unbeatable.
He like
spills into the contract.
He wants to question this guy, and the building got shot with an RPG, and it is just tumbling down the mountain. Is going to land on top of him, and he just covers them, and just boulders are just bouncing off his body, and you're just like, what?
Dude, this...
I don't know. I want to say, I said it last week. I don't know anything about Kraven, but I'm pretty sure this ain't it either.
Dude, this sounds awesome.
Dude could literally punch the earth, and I think it would move.
Dude, I'm into this. I'm gonna have to go see it now. This sound... I
don't know about in theaters. Just wait for it to be on a streamer.
Maybe I'll just bring a bottle of some sort of alcohol, rip like 3 shots, and then go in and watch this.
Venom 3 came out on streamers really quick.
That's true.
I would just, and this one is making no money. I would just wait. Straight to streaming is my excuse me, is my review for it.
Cool.
Bad.
Straight to streaming, it's bad.
Oh, dude.
You should buy this universe on Blu-ray so you have it forever.
No. I'm gonna save my money. I've got rent to pay, buddy.
That's fair.
That is fair. That's
nice.
Fair. All right. Anything else?
I have other things I can talk about if...
I really don't have anything else.
I guess you both have watched a little bit of Secret Level. I've watched all that's out.
I've watched the first episode.
I've watched the first 3 episodes. They've been good. They've been fine. I mean, they haven't, jumped off the screen at me like Love, Death, and Robots, which I think is the most like apt thing to compare it to. Mm-hmm. But I haven't been like, that was a waste of 20 minutes.
I enjoyed the first episode, which was the Dungeons and Dragons episode. I think it's the same for everybody, right?
Yeah.
This isn't
D&D,
like Love, Death, and Robots where it was like random.
Sifu, and then
Unreal.
Yeah.
So I watched the first episode. I enjoyed it for what it was. I think a lot of, in a weird sort of way, this kind of reminds me of Oat Studios.
Yeah.
In that it's just like concepts.
Yeah.
Which I'm fine with. But again, I've only watched 1, so I don't know about the rest of it.
I think out of the 3 that I've watched, 1, 2, and 3, I think.
Oh, it wasn't 1, 7, and 3.
Shut up.
Oh, just curious.
I think 1 was the weakest.
Okay.
I feel like the D&D one out of the 3 I've watched has been the weakest.
Out of those 3, I would agree with you.
Yeah. I can't speak to more than that, but the other 2 have a more complete story. They're all shorts. None of them, I don't think, probably tell like a full traditional 3-act, full character arc story. Maybe some of them do. They can. You can do it. But the first one, like, legitimately ends on like a big old cliffhanger thing.
Yeah. It's like a trailer for a video game. Like, legitimately.
Yeah. It's like, okay, and now you get to fight the monster.
Yeah.
But the second one, the Sifu one, I thoroughly enjoyed. I think it made a unique use of, these are all games that have been turned into these shorts, and it uses the idea of death and respawn in the short, which is a game mechanic, but they use it in a narrative with a narrative function as well. And Seafood, I think, is really, really unique. And then the Unreal is what we called it.
Unreal Tournament.
Unreal.
Zon.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's the robot Hunger Games is the way I think of it. Nothing crazy there, but I thought it looked really good, and it's always interesting to see how people envision robots thinking and changing and evolving, and it had some good actiony moments in that one as well. So, Luke, you can speak more to all of part 1 at least.
So you mentioned they looked good. They all look good. I think the best one that have been released, only half the show is out, is the Sifu episode.
Do we know when the rest of it's coming out? Sorry.
This week.
This week, okay.
Sure. I think it's just 2 weeks.
Soon.
I might be wrong on that, though. I'm not really sure. I think the Sifu episode is the best one. It has a beginning, and it has a conclusion. It's
nice.
Very short.
Yeah, it does.
It's the shortest one, I think.
It does, yeah.
I think the rest are kind of how you described D&D. These are video game trailers. They're exactly what they always make for Diablo DLC. It's just like, hey, this thing's coming out in 6 months. Get ready with this CGI trailer we made that won't happen in game.
Mm-hmm.
Every episode is dark, and I mean that like in a way of lighting. They're almost all at nighttime, which is really annoying. They're all bloody and gory, which just gets exhausting. For all these different games, it felt like there was so little variety. Like, I eventually made it to the Pac-Man episode, and it's called Pac-Man. It wasn't called Secret Labyrinth. It was called Pac-Man. And I'm watching Pac-Man eat a person. And it's just like, this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. I honestly think they completely dropped the ball in these first 8 episodes. I think it's bad. I think it's a waste of time. I was really looking forward to the Armored Core episode.
Is that the one Keanu's in?
Yeah, it's just him flying around and shooting people. There's nothing to it. It's so uninteresting. He's just like, I'm the best.
Which you can do that in the game.
Yeah, I can literally do that in the game. I'm not the best. I'm obviously the worst at the game. But, like, there's so little depth. And especially, like, coming off Love, Death, and Robots, which I think had lots of variety.
Yeah.
And even on the episodes I don't like. Like, there was one lots of people liked. It was the one with the dancing lady in the water.
Oh, like, the siren one?
Yeah. I didn't love that episode, but it was different from everything.
Yeah. And
others loved it. Where this one is just like Unreal Engine 5, Unreal Engine 5, Unreal Engine 5, Unreal Engine 5. Oh my gosh, dude. It's just, you eventually make it to the last episode, the Armored Core one, you're just like, okay, I'm just ready for this to be done.
Did you watch it in one sitting?
No.
Okay.
I think I watched it over like 4 days.
Okay. I was going to say, I wonder if you did, I wonder if that would have impact because,
Well, the reason I didn't was because I was tired of watching it.
Oh, yeah.
I was like I finished the, I watched the first 3 kind of like you did. I finished the Unreal one and I was like, all right, that was all right. But we'll see what happens. I think my top 3 actually so far might be kind of controversial. My favorite one is the Sifu one. My second favorite one is the Crossfire one, which is 2 military teams just going up against each other.
Gilchrist said he loved the Crossfire one.
Know why that one's good? Because it's characters who are going through complicated circumstances, and you're rooting for both of them.
Yeah.
But you're going against each other, and it was cool. Whereas Armored Core is just, I'm the best. Give me a gun. Pac-Man is just chomping on aliens. Oh, dude. Really, really disappointing. And I think another reason it's disappointing is because, like, they announced it and they're like, what if we've always said, why not do these cutscenes, but just as a show? Mm-hmm. You didn't do that. You just made cutscenes.
Yeah.
That's all it is. You did nothing special. It felt like they kept doing their normal job. They didn't hire any writers. It's like, guys, we need a Diablo cutscene. Okay, yeah. Just call it D&D.
Yeah, I would say the D&D one is legit. Like, if you plant that in the
It's
middle
so
of Diablo 4, I would believe it.
Yeah.
I'd be
It's
like, oh,
so
yeah.
fantasy cliche. Just like, okay. Oh, there was a gnome wizard, which is cool because that's what I play as.
And there was a dwarf monk.
Yeah, the monk was cool. But yeah, it's just...
Man, he's ready to throw hands. Like,
I don't know. You might wipe the Warhammer one. There's no dialogue in it. Actually, that might be 2 lines.
I mean, they just shoot stuff, so, and stab stuff.
Yeah, you might like that one. I think some you need a connection to the game, and other ones like Sifu, you don't.
That could be a really interesting way to look at it. Because, like, with Love, Death, and Robots, we go in effectively blind. Like, we have
on
no
everything.
preconceived...
Yeah, that's true.
Like, for Pac-Man, right? Like, if that's not called Pac-Man, and there's no, like, imagery of Pac-Man, you may still not like it, but you maybe don't hate it, right? Like, Love, Death, and Robots, you go in, and you're like, I have no idea what the hell I'm about to watch. Like, I'm just going in blind, and...
Like, what is this one? This farmer just hates rats? What?
Yeah. This farmer dude has a mech suit? All right. Yeah, sure. Why not? Right?
And then they
Wait,
get
these
them
guys are
rats.
werewolves? Yeah, like there's just so many random things. Like, oh, this dude's going to get kind of warped by this siren in the jungle? Cool. Whatever. Like, you have no clue what's happening.
Yeah.
Whereas like with Secret Level, it's a little harder to get everybody's buy-in because everybody has so much baggage with a lot of these IPs. Like, the overwhelming majority of people love Sifu. Like, if you've picked it up and played it, it's incredible. It's incredible. Like, it's so fun. Warhammer has a very, very firm and dedicated fan base. Those people probably love that.
I'm sure they're going to love it.
Yeah, right?
I don't care who Titus is. I don't know who his adopted dad was. I mean, and it ended, and I was just like, cool.
Yeah. The Warhammer world is insane.
The episode that probably the only episode I'm actually looking forward to still is the Concord episode. It's a dead game.
Yeah.
It's a happy, punky, bright universe, which is the opposite of everything so far. And has characters. So there'll probably be stakes and characters making decisions.
Yep. Fingers crossed.
Maybe they should turn Concord into a single player game.
Well,
What if I
they got beat to that punch.
Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yeah.
Dude, that game
And
was
what
so good.
Intergalactic,
Oh, yeah.
like, again, like, if you showed me that first teaser for Concord and slap Intergalactic on it, it's almost, I'm like, oh yeah, makes sense.
Yep.
But no, I'm still excited to watch this. Like, I know you didn't like it. Brett, sounds like you're a third of the way through, and you're kind of,
I think it's fine so far.
yeah, you're not like, this is amazing or this is horrible. You're kind of just like, yeah, it's fine.
I think it's a
It's
a
doable.
step down from Love, Death, and Robots, but it's still.
I think it always
it's fine.
was going to be.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
I think it's definitely not a reason to get Amazon Prime.
No. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
I think you wait for it to be on YouTube. If I can just finish real
Sure.
quick.
Yeah.
Because these will be quick. Most of my week has been dedicated to Indiana Jones.
Did you beat it yet?
No.
Okay.
The game is incredible.
Nice.
The gameplay loop, I think, is super satisfying. It's really fun. The story's great. I don't know if people will kind of love doing the same things at each location. It's like, oh, I'm looking for medicine bottles here. You don't have to do it, but like if you want to. I think it's fun because there's usually a puzzle involved.
Yeah.
But I've been having a blast with it. I think I'm close. I think I'm in the last area.
How many hours in?
No idea.
Oh, okay.
Uncountable.
I know the general like finishing point for most, so
Yeah, I'm super excited. The story's gotten so good.
that's awesome.
You're always like waiting, like what's gonna be the weird like Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. It was aliens. Like, what's always going to be that moment?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I experienced one.
Oh.
And I was just like, okay, that's awesome. I thought it was sick.
Nice.
And, like, I feel like that's always the make or break moment in an Indiana
Yeah,
Jones
Oh,
game.
for sure.
And yeah, it's right up that alley of, whoa. And then I'm caught up on Creature Commandos. I don't know if you guys watched
I am
the
too.
last.
Yep. I
I
did
thought
too.
last episode was pretty good.
I liked episode 3 a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thought episode 3 was
I was
good.
a little surprised by the seemingly choice they made.
I loved the song where GI Robot started just going off.
Oh, at the meeting or whatever?
Yeah, I loved the needle drop of like the I put a coin in the
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the
in
machine.
the
yeah.
machine or yeah. I don't remember lyrics, but
You guys are Nazis. Prepare to die.
that's how they tried him as a human.
Yeah.
It's just like just turn him off. Can he not be turned off?
Dude, I think episodes 2 and 3 give me a pretty good feeling moving into the rest of the show.
Yeah.
Especially where episode 3 ends, it's like, okay, now we have like a little bit of what the plan was.
Yeah.
So now you kind of know, okay, this is where the story was kind of, because after episode 2, you still don't really know what we're building to.
Right.
After episode 3, you have an idea of what was happening. So
Yep, for sure.
looking forward to it.
Hoping it's good. Hoping it finishes strong.
Yeah.
Because we're about halfway through. Next week will be halfway point.
Little, yeah.
About
It's
halfway
7.
through it will be the halfway point.
Halfway through that one. Yeah, exactly.
Because I think
exactly.
it's
Seven.
seven.
it's
seven.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alrighty.
Cool,
Tyler,
cool.
anything else?
I finished a book called The Angel Maker.
Ooh.
I'm now reading Dungeon Crawler Carl, which was announced for a TV show with the Family Guy dude,
Oh,
Seth MacFarlane. Yeah.
Is it an animated?
No, I think it's live action. But at first I was like, I don't know about this. But now that I'm reading the book, I'm about halfway through it, and I was like, yeah, it's a pretty good pairing. Like, I think it's going to work really well. If you don't know what this is about, basically these aliens go to different planets, and everything that lives on the planet is forced into like a dungeon, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to like survive on each level and keep going down. And if you make it past a certain level, you survive.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people like they do like an extinction event and see how many people get into the dungeons. I think it starts at like 5 million. Well, and then like after you reach a certain level, you can like take a class and stuff. And it's called a lit RPG.
Okay.
So it's like a literary RPG.
Yeah.
So, but it reads like a video game. So like when he does
Interesting.
something, he gets like achievements, and it like pops up in the book in like bold print. It's like achievement: you've killed 500 children or something. Like
What?
Well, so he.
That's an achievement?
So there's.
Oh no.
Book game is
Dude, it's super goofy. Like, just the tone is all over, like hilarious. But they're trying to fight this boss, and he like rigs up this cart as like a bomb and like throws it into the boss room to try to get like a bunch of damage on him before he goes in to fight it. And it kills the boss and everybody that's in there, and it kills like a bunch of families.
Oh no.
And he's like, oh no, I'm a horrible person.
Reload.
And he's got a cat named Princess Donut that starts to talk because it gets like this thing, and the cat is like revealing all these secrets to him and talks to him like he's an idiot. And he's technically part of her royal guard is his title. And I think where I'm at, he's like level 11 because he's like leveling up through the book as you read it. And so it's pretty cool. It's really
Sounds interesting.
goofy. It's a little bit like Ready Player One at times.
Yeah.
But much better written. I've enjoyed it. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I'm about halfway through. It's a pretty long series. I think they're up to 7 books now. Brendan, my buddy, recommended it to me, and so I usually make fun of his recommendations and tell him I don't like them, but I actually do like this one. It's pretty good. So I'll probably keep reading this one. I won't read 2 right away because I want to finish the Sanderson Mistborn trilogy first, but then I'll probably get back to this because it's a lot of fun.
Good deal.
So, yeah, other than that, the usual suspects.
Okay.
I traveled for work to Austin last week, so
Yeah.
didn't have a ton of free time, but
You know.
I watched The Replacements. Good movie.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I've seen it before.
Right.
I love that movie. I was laying in my hotel bed before the Christmas party last week, and I was like, I'm gonna watch The Replacements because it's on TV.
Nice.
Actually, they had like on-demand channels, and I
Oh.
didn't think I was gonna have to pay, so I like went to one. And it was like it's $20. I was like, I'm not watching this, but I was like, because of what was there, the Borderlands movie was there. It's like I'm gonna watch this and see how bad it is. It wanted me to pay $20.
So you watched The Replacements instead.
I did, which is a good movie.
You got to you didn't have to spend any money to watch a good movie.
Correct.
Versus spending money to watch a bad movie.
Correct.
Yeah, win-win.
I made the right choice.
You did.
Brilliant choice.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But I was prepared to laugh really hard at a
Yeah.
bad Borderlands movie.
Oh, good deal. Good deal.
What about you?
I really didn't do much. We that is worth talking about. We went to Botanica.
Yeah.
The
Thursday.
Illuminations Garden stuff. That was fun. The Broken Door got accepted into another film festival.
Bang bang.
Nice.
So that's 2 in January. So very excited about that. So I've been doing some like promo.
Yeah.
Making promo stuff for that. I've been catching up on some of my DVD collection that I, the ones that I mentioned that I got for Black Friday.
Your snooty movies?
My snooty movies. I've been watching those.
This freaking guy.
Yeah, that's me.
I imagine when he sits down to watch those, he does this. He sits down, he goes, as he sits down.
With my glass of wine and my pinky out.
And your glass is like really low on your nose, so you could watch it like this. That's exactly how I imagine you watch that.
No, that's not a good decision.
Yep. That's exactly how I imagine you watch that
Eureka! Brilliant!
So stupid.
Best movie ever!
I'm the biggest film fan I know.
No one loves movies more than I.
This wine smells like rich people.
I don't even drink it, I just smell it.
And
Gross.
there's people that do that.
I know.
Rich
Good
people.
nose, good nose, good nose.
No, but yeah, I will have lots to talk about when we come back for our next episode, which won't be next Monday, but the Monday after, the 30th. So, since we won't see you guys next week, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Uh,
Happy New Year.
We'll
and
chat
happy
right before
holidays.
New Year's. So, until then,
And to all a good night.
everyone be safe. Have a great holiday. We'll see you.